Good afternoon. Welcome to beautiful Lake Silvaplana. We are here for the 2023 iQFOil Under-21 World Championships. My name is Sandy and I'm joined here in the booth with Mr. Rafferty Reid.
And Sandy, how's it going, mate?
Very good. We're very happy to be here. As you can see on the right-hand side of your screen, it is a beautiful day here at Lake Silvaplana, and it is all action as we complete 2 more course races for the men and 2 more course races for the women.
That's it. I mean, here on day 5, we've been getting another sweet forecast, and it's come through again.
I know.
It's
amazing.
dreamy. I mean, people are still out, and some people are still in board shorts. It's super mid-20s. I mean, the wind's blowing, and it's just perfect iQFOil conditions. It really is. I mean, at the first day, we did a lot of slalom races.
Yeah. A bit lighter wind, so perfect for running that kind of slalom course, you know, just downwind. They can really maximise the speed out of it. But yeah, the last 2 days we have been blessed.
Yeah,
yesterday and of course today.
Yeah, the second day, unfortunately, it was pretty light winds all day. There was no wind all day.
Yeah.
So we had a cheeky rest day. Everyone was like having a bit of fun, chilling around. That's it. But then yesterday, again, we had prime conditions. It was absolutely amazing, wasn't it?
It was. Yeah, it was such a great day. We managed to complete 5 course races for the men, 5 course races for the women, and there were some upsets. There was a bit of drama.
There certainly was. I mean, coming into yesterday, Max Beeman was winning the event. Was winning the event. He came in that prime position, but Gaspard Carfantin in that men's fleet,
the flying Frenchman.
Cool, blimey! He certainly had a good day. He picked up 4 race wins, and that just boosted him right to the front of the fleet.
Yeah, really impressive performance from him. And we saw some real great tactical decisions from him, you know, kind of stepping away from the pack and kind of taking his own lines coming back down across the lake, especially on those downwind runs. He was a cut above the rest for me, I think.
No, he certainly was. And then into that women's fleet, still Adi Miller.
Yeah.
In that top spot.
A commanding presence.
Yeah,
on the
I
wall,
mean, she was winning after that first day, and she's still winning after this coming into today. But I mean, we're seeing some other players in this. Sophia Meyer from Germany. She's really come into it.
Yeah.
She's currently in that 3rd position at the minute.
Yeah, and Kristina Pinisova as well in 2nd. Can't take anything away from her. She's been having a really good event. Taking a look at the screen, that is the current event top 10 for the women. Yeah. Bearing in mind that we are still running 2 course races for the men, 2 course races for the women as well. I believe we're just waiting for the last course race for the women from today to update. So this may change. So make sure you're glued to your screens. Do not leave us for the next little while, because we are going to be bringing you all of the action.
But yeah, there we see Adi Miller in the lead with 17 points. She's actually got a decent lead there, actually. Well, that's 13 points, isn't it? But just behind her, well, Kristina Pinisova in that, as you said, our youth European champion at the minute.
Sure.
But yeah, that's our top 10 for the women. Good stuff.
Yep, absolutely. And if you are just joining us, we are here for the Under-21s iQFOil World Championships here in Lake Silvaplana, and we have got the current top 10 for the men up on screen. Gaspard Carfantin in 1st place, Leonardo Tomasini in 2nd, Max Beeman coming up in 3rd. So this top 10 extremely valuable as we move towards the medal series at the end of the week.
And we have some really well-established riders here in this top 10 for the men's fleet. I mean, Gaspard, he has been many times in international podiums. Max Beeman as well. Leonardo, he's really come into his play in this competition, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not too sure, but this is probably one of the best competitions he's doing so far, and I really hope he can stay in that top 3.
For sure. But if you are just joining us here, you know, welcome to Lake Silvaplana. We're very excited to be here, and today is all about the marathon race. But with that in mind, why don't we take a little look at some of the highlights from yesterday's course racing action?
Let's take a dabble.
With 19 nations competing, it's a stacked fleet as we close out the 4th day of racing here at Lake Silvaplana. Today it was all about the course racing, so upwind and downwind, with 5 races for the men's fleet, 5 races for the women's fleet. With conditions around 14 to 17 knots, it was perfect for the course racing, with the course covering the entire length of the lake. After the men's racing today, it was Gaspard Carfantin, the flying Frenchman, coming out with 4 wins, so winning 4 out of the 5 races, with some incredible tactical decisions made throughout each race. Just behind in 2nd place, Leonardo Tomasini from Italy with a super impressive performance, and is currently sitting in 2nd in the overall rankings. And finally, finishing out the podium, coming up in 3rd, Max Beeman, previously injured before this event, but put on a stellar performance in the slalom the other day, and equally matched that performance today in the course racing. At the end of the women's course racing today, Israel's Adi Milo coming out and maintaining her strong performance from a few days ago with the slalom, once again with the course racing and sitting in first overall for the event so far. And in second place, Kristina Pinisova with an incredible performance, once again showcasing her talents, this time in the course racing, just like she did with the slalom a few days ago. And a great showing from Carola Colasanto, taking her first bullet of the event and storming up into third in the overall standings.
Today, wasn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. It was we had such a great day. You know, I've got to say, whilst watching the slalom was really epic, I thought the course racing is so much more dramatic, especially with that start. You know, the guys coming from both tacks. It's just a longer race. There's more happening, isn't there?
No, yeah.
So I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, there's lots of different aspects, both course racing and slalom here. I mean, we do lots of different courses basically.
Yeah.
And yesterday was really concentrating on that course racing. We have an upwind start, both downwind, lots of really tactical decisions being made there.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
Today we have the marathon race. So let's have a cheeky look. Let's have a cheeky look at what the marathon race entails.
Yeah.
We've had some great days of racing so far. We've had slalom, we've had course racing. Now it's time for the marathon. I'm joined by Gonzalo. Can you talk us through a little bit more about the marathon format and how it works?
Yeah, so the marathon is a 1 hour race, so your endurance needs to be spot on. There's more tactical situations. In sprint slalom, it's a 4-minute race. Everything goes really fast. But on the marathon, you have more time. You have more time to plan. And here it's going to be a 5-lap. It's going to be around 45 to 1 hour minutes. We are going to have a rapid start, which is very different to the other start. So we have a boat crossing from the pin side, and everybody crosses behind the boat.
Yeah. Perfect. Well, we're very excited. Stay tuned for the action.
Great to hear from Gonzalo there about how this marathon format is going to work. It's very, very different to both the slalom and the course racing, isn't it?
No, I mean, it is very different, although at the end of the day, there's still the core aspects of racing.
Of course.
Yeah, I mean, it's sometimes even more sometimes even more important, you know?
Of course.
I mean, with such a long race, over an hour, tactical decisions are so important. But the thing is, you can go risk or you can go safe, but within an hour-long race, you can make maybe one incorrect decision and then you still have the time to make it back.
I mean, we saw that in the course racing yesterday, didn't we? You know, some guys were kind of in the middle of the pack in the kind of upwind legs, especially that first upwind leg. And by the time you get to that last downwind reach, you're getting into, you know, top 5 positions.
No, that's
anything can change, and you know, with the marathon, that is only exaggerated because the race is so much longer.
No, that's it. And yeah, especially with the different kinds of conditions, it adds lots of different aspects to the course. And here we look at the
weather forecast.
The weather forecast for today. I mean, again, it's really just lovely conditions. Around 15 knots throughout the day, so you're going to be perfect. It's
perfect.
Super flat out there. 0, well, wave height. There's
no waves here. We're on a lake.
It's just super flat, and the water's quite cool actually because it's really cold, but then it's not salty, so it's super clean on those files, and they can reach really top speeds.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we were seeing, we're chatting to some of the riders, and they're doing well over 20 knots in only 14, 15 knots of wind.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, sometimes just double, even more than double the wind. I mean, we're seeing some of these the speeds upwind and downwind. I mean, maybe there's 15 knots upwind and they are going 18, 19 knots, just cranking it absolutely upwind. And then on the downwinds, sometimes even close to 30 knots. I mean, and on reaches, sometimes even over 30 knots, 32, 33 knots.
Yeah.
It's super quick stuff, this equipment.
Absolutely, yeah, with those foils underneath the boards as we look at the schedule for the rest of this event. So today is all about the marathon race. That will be starting at 2:19 local time. So we have just under 15 minutes until the start of that race. 14 minutes to go, and then the women will be starting 4 minutes after the men's free as well.
Excited.
So they will all be sailing around the course together.
Exactly, all together. I'm super excited for that marathon race. And then tomorrow, it is the final series, the Splits of Flit, and we go into that penultimate day before the medal races on Sunday, the final day where we will be crowning our under-21 World Champions.
Absolutely, yeah. So the medal races, so if you're fairly new to iQFOiling, essentially it will be the top 10 men and the top 10 women that will go through to that medal series. So it's a lot to play for. The tension is on now.
Yeah, it certainly is. And with those top 10 that go into the medal races, anyone in that top 10 can win. And here we go to that top 10 currently in today, going into that marathon.
Yep.
It's Gaspard, as we were talking about. He had that amazing race yesterday in that first place position. But all these 10, I mean, we're seeing Daniel Tash in that 10th spot. He's in that position that's bit. He's gonna be trying to really work hard.
He's gonna want to have a really
10.
Good day today, definitely.
No, it really is. But it's cool because we're saying three British people, three British men in that.
Not that we're biased at all, but yeah,
not that
it is
we're
lovely.
biased, but I mean, we're seeing the top 10. They're dominating at the minute.
Yeah, they absolutely are, especially Max Beeman in third, and he managed to actually win the first course race today as well. He's put in such a great performance, especially given that we discussed yesterday he's coming off an injury.
No, exactly.
Unfortunately cut his foot open really badly at one of the last events, and has had to get stitches in his foot, everything like that. So for him to be, we chatted to him on the first day, we interviewed him, and he was kind of like, well, I don't know how I'm going to do. I'm kind of taking it easy, see how I go. But I guess he just got on the water, found that competitive fire, and has just sailed through it. I saw his parents are here as well, and they were taping his foot up just now, as he gets ready for the marathons race. So really, really exceptional performance for him, given that essentially he's still injured.
Yeah, I mean, nothing is stopping him. But in the race, we've had 2 course races already today, and in that 4th position, Bernat Thomas, he won that. He's won the most recent race actually. So it really shows anyone inside this top 10 does have the potential to win the whole event.
And as you said, as we move into that medal series, the way the medal series is set out, anyone within that top 10 could win. It's a very level playing field, and that's what makes it so exciting to watch.
Yeah. I mean, it's a really high stakes, that medal race. But also what we're having today, the marathon, is also an extremely high stakes race because it counts as 2 results. It's 2 results on that scorecard.
Double points.
It's 2 results on that scorecard, so they'll be wanting to really put in the best result possible. I mean, these guys down that bottom, Duncan Monaghan in that 9th and Daniel, they'll be really wanting to put in a really good result in that marathon to hopefully cement their place inside that top 10.
Absolutely, and just maintain their presence. Yeah, let's take a look at the top 10 for the women's then.
Here we are. There we are. Yeah, Adi Milo, as we said. Still 22 points. I mean, a lot of points ahead so far. This is the most up-to-date rankings. Just after after these 2 course races in the morning.
Yeah, Adi Miller with putting a real commanding presence throughout this entire event, through the slalom in the early days of the event, through to the course racing yesterday, and maintaining that lead today as well. She's going to be looking for a similar result for the marathon today.
Yeah. But as we see, I mean, we're looking at the women's results here. It's looking like Italy is dominating. 3 inside this top 10. Carola, Linda, and also Sofia.
Yeah, Linda Opandi as well, having a great battle yesterday with France's Marion Couturier.
That was pretty mega, wasn't it?
That was my favourite moment from yesterday.
I've watched that a fair few times, and if you haven't watched it, make sure you go back and have a cheeky gander at that.
Yeah, make sure you head over to the YouTube channel and check out all the action from yesterday. It's highly worth watching.
Yeah, for
sure. They had such a great battle as they came down to the last mark at the gate before that last reach to the finish line. We couldn't even tell who had won, could we?
It was proper mega photo finish.
It was sent to me, and that's what makes it so exciting. And I imagine it'll be similar with the marathon race. You have this race that lasts for an hour, and at the end of it, it can come down to centimeters of difference.
I mean, yesterday we saw 2 photo finishes, literally photo finishes.
Yeah.
We couldn't even tell.
The previous men's race, between Gaspard and Bernat.
And it was literally that's what it matters. Literally every point inside that race, you're really trying to gain as much as possible, and all the tactics. Because in this format, the course racing of iQFOil, it's course racing. So we do introduce those sailing tactics.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, absolutely. And like we were discussing earlier, actually with Max's dad. He's been on the shore, obviously, cheering Max on, caddying for him, everything like that. And he was saying, this place is so interesting because of the wind shifts, choosing which side of the lake is windier. It's not like open ocean or anything like that. Yeah. We are in the mountains in Switzerland. We do have this Maloja thermal wind, and that will kind of bend around the mountains and the trees and everything like that. So you have to be so tactical, and that's what we saw yesterday, with Gaspard Carfentan in particular, really making advantage of those shifts and those gusts to get himself back downwind through the gate.
I mean, the interesting thing, it's different every race. I mean, a lot of the riders here, they do have coaches, and I had to talk to the English coach earlier, James Hatcher. Yep. He presented a little presentation to his riders yesterday. I might have had a cheeky gander at it, and it was very interesting. Really? I was sick because we were following the trackers actually.
Right.
And we saw, obviously the riders go certain ways, but the overall theme of it was it's different every time.
Yeah.
You can't rely on a certain way each race. Every race, the riders have to figure it out the course. They have to practice on the course. They have to do their pre-start routine
Of course.
to really make the most of their race.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, and we saw that in the course racing. Well, it is all about that start. And speaking of starts, as we look up onto the screen, the race start clock is there.
There we are.
Just over 7 minutes, 20 seconds to go. And you can see all the riders there, the boat in the middle, as they start to get ready for this marathon race. What is going through their heads right now?
Core blimey. I mean, there's seven under 10 minutes to go.
Yep.
I mean, the immediate things is probably a bit of nerves. A bit of nerves.
I mean, a lot of nerves.
I mean, the majority of riders are out on the course now. The last few are heading out there, but obviously the first immediate thoughts are a bit of nerves due to the importance of this race and how much is looming on this race. But once that's all sorted out, they can have a little think, have a little chill, have a little rest on water. They're really going through their pre-start routine, really finding out which way to go on the course, where the wind is coming, and where how to play out the course really to make sure they come out on top.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is a stacked fleet. So what we're looking at now, so it will be a bit of a staggered start. So as you can see, this is the men's marathon. So the men's marathon will be starting at 2:19, and then I believe the women's marathon will be starting 4 minutes later at 2:23. So they will all be going around the course kind of at the same time. And eventually, as we go, I imagine, you know, the top women will slowly make their way past the sort of slower men in the fleet, and it will start to mix and match together. But the idea is just to give them a bit of a clearer start. You know, we have 58 men in the fleet, so that is what you are seeing on your screen there.
Yeah. I mean, it's a packed fleet. I mean, as you said, men and women are all racing together.
It's going to be a sight to behold.
It's going to be mega.
Yeah, I can't wait for it. Obviously, this is a tough question for you, Rafferty, but who's your money on? Because obviously, you know, I know there's a bit of bias there. You know, of course, we want the countryman, Max Beeman, who's smashing it. But equally, to me, I'm not going to put any pressure on
Sunday,
you.
let me reverse that question. What
Feel
do you
free.
think? You go first.
You give me the Uno reverse card. We're flipping that one over. Do you know what? I'm going to give you the boring answer. I think Gaspar Carfentan is coming off such an impressive performance yesterday. I think the fact that he just kept coming in, going out and doing the same thing over and over shows that he is comfortable under the pressure. The conditions are fairly similar today. There is a bit more cloud around, which could be making it a bit gustier, but he proved yesterday that he really understands those gusts.
Yeah.
I think we could see some big upsets.
For sure.
However, I'm going to be boring. I'm very sorry. I'm going to be boring. I'm going to go with. I think Gaspard is going to. He's going to continue this streak that he's on from yesterday. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. My bets. It's going to be Daniel Tash. Right outside. He's coming into this race in 10th place.
Yep.
So for sure, he will be pretty much going all in.
You're right.
I mean, well, we say all in, but
I mean, they always do that, but I know
exactly.
what you mean. He's gonna be looking to exaggerate every single movement he's making because he knows I'm not going to say he's on the chopping block, but he's at the business end of it.
No, that's it. And he's probably one of the riders that has spent the most time on this equipment, actually. I mean, and he's always been, in his whole windsurfing career, from junior all the way to senior that he is now, he's always been at the top of his game, really. Always at that elite level, always on international podiums, and I'm sure he will bring that experience to this race.
Yeah, that's a good call there. That's a good call. I think it's going to be, either way, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Yeah. So wherever you're watching from, if you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Facebook, leave us a comment. Let us know where you're watching from. Let us know who you're rooting for. Flip the Uno reverse card on us as well.
There we are. Yeah. We'd like to see who you bets are. Let's get some betting in it.
Well, maybe not. We're a family show. It would be great to get you guys commenting. Let us know where you're watching from, who you are rooting for in this marathon race. We have just over 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go.
Yeah, not long to go at all. I mean, we're looking out. This is Lake Silverplana, basically. What a location! What an absolute location. We have some clouds in the sky today, but it's still hot and it's still windy. We can really see the wind coming down. The darker spots on that water is gust, and the lighter spots is lulls, basically. So you can really see how tactical all these races are going to be wanting to be in that stronger wind, so they can go faster and they can have better VMG upwind.
Absolutely, yeah. As you can see, the live conditions, so 12 knots, so that wind has dropped off a little bit, but we are still well within contestable conditions. Usually we say if it's under 10 knots, we tend to run slalom. If we get to over 10 knots, we'll be looking to run course racing. The marathon is essentially a very large course race, isn't it? Obviously, the course is set out slightly differently to the one we had yesterday. However, it's still, it is still comprising all elements of windsurfing. So that upwind leg, rounding those marks, coming down, having to jibe around different marks, and of course, those wonderful photo finish reaches.
Yeah, well, that's it. I'm going to be sure we're going to have a load of battles, so much action inside this race.
Yeah.
As we're going for around an hour in this race, I'm sure there will be some spaced out, really. I mean, people will be making the correct decisions throughout the race. Sometimes maybe not so much, but then the thing is, you can make one decision at the end of the race and everything can really switch up.
Absolutely, and like we said yesterday, with the course racing, and we saw it, some riders are so much more confident and better, whether it's upwind, downwind.
Exactly.
Some riders are far more confident with their transitions, the foiling through tacks, much quicker jibes. Some riders are much better at straight line speed. So it's going to be really interesting to see, because as I said, this marathon race is going to comprise all elements of that. They are going around the course 5 times, and as we get into just over 1 minute 35 seconds to go, it is going to be a rabbit start, which we haven't seen this event so far.
Yeah, I mean, the rabbit start is only for the marathon race, just to give basically kind of overall even start for everyone. What does that comprise of? That comprises of basically a line, a reaching line. A boat drives super fast across the line, and then all the riders have to go super fast behind the boat.
Yep.
So it's going to be a very, very cool and spectacular start. This one.
It's going to be great. Exactly. Yeah. So previously, for the course racing, things like that, it was an upwind start, so a lot of the riders crossing over, which brings a lot of drama with it. This one perhaps won't bring as much drama, but it brings a lot of spectacle. Actually watching them all chase it. It's like the greyhounds chasing the rabbit.
There we are. I mean, it's going to. I'm sure we might see a few explosions of that
Well,
start.
yes. I mean, we never want to wish anyone a bit of crashing, but who doesn't love a bit of drama?
That's it. I mean, but the hard thing about this, as it's a boat going super fast across them, and the riders are going pretty much straight after that boat, the boat actually causes a lot of disturbance in the water, which is really not ideal for the foil, actually, because the foil is basically, it's kind of like an aeroplane just under the water. It has all the same physics providing lift and stability, and it's like mega turbulence. If you're in a plane and it's like mega turbulence, you have like
exactly. It brings in it basically causes the flows to cavitate, which can get air bubbles around either side. But we are coming into the final just over 5 seconds until the start of this race, as we see the riders lining up.
Not long to go now. The start of this marathon, the marathon here for the U21 World Championships in Lake Silverplana, is going just very, very soon. Where is that boat for this rabbit start? But they're all lining up very close. Oh, the water is looking beautiful, isn't it?
Look how blue that water is, as we see.
Here we are.
There is the rabbit start.
There is that rabbit start boat. It's going super, super fast, and you can see how close those riders are, just going straight behind them.
There they are. The race has started. So as soon as they cross that line, they're immediately pumping the sails. So despite the fact that they're all cruising around on the foils, they are looking to maximise every bit of speed they've got.
I mean, not even meters sometimes. You can
that
see
way.
how close this is. Good grief. Oh, and a big group of the Spanish there, all bunching together. That's interesting. And coming towards the end of the line. Oh, interesting. Right,
that last rider heading over.
I think that could have been Hidder going off on that very poor starboard end, but here they are, all going off, pumping extremely hard up onto this right side. A few already putting in their tacks. That's the thing about this location. You can go the left or the right, and you really want to stay in that wind, basically. But it's actually looking like the wind may have dropped a little bit. It's very interesting, but we can see like this Polish rider 197. He's in a bit of a lull there, but he's going into that gust. Oh, extremely good start from the person on our right. Hopefully we will be able to see who it is very soon.
Absolutely, yeah. And looking on at the left-hand side of the screen, we have the top 10 there. So you have the sail number on the left-hand side, and then the distance. So that distance is the distance from the leader. So currently Latvia 29
there we are
on your screen there.
Davis Mazais having an extremely good start in this marathon race. He's only 18 years of age, and he's the only person from Latvia actually in here, but that's not stopping him at all. He is absolutely storming in this race so far.
And currently in 4th place in the overall event standing as well, so he'll be looking to maintain that position as we move towards those medal series racing at the end of the week.
Exactly, but we can see a really good position here. It's not that second and third. We're looking at a line, basically, a vertical line up the screen, and that is who is in front. But the that second and third, they're still very close together.
Absolutely. And if you're just joining us, if you're unsure what's going on, essentially windsurfing, you cannot sail directly into the wind. So the wind is going down the lake, and these guys are zigzagging up to that top mark.
Exactly. You kind of have to think about where the wind is coming. You look from where the wind is going from. That's a no-go zone.
Exactly.
And you have to think about where, like, the diagonal. It's a weighing up between speed and height angle upwind. VMG
Exactly.
overall in sailing terms.
Yeah, so you want to, yeah, there is that very, very fine line, as we discussed yesterday, you know, of you want to maximize as much speed as possible whilst going upwind, but you also want to make sure that you're keeping a good line so that you're going to get up there as quickly as possible. You ideally want to do as few tacks as possible, don't you? Irregardless of whether you're foiling all the way around them, the less transitions you have to do, the easier life is going to be. So as they come up to the top of the lake, they are going to be going round Mark 1, then they will be jibing round the second mark and then heading back down to Mark 3 and they will be going round the course 5 times.
Well, it looks like here, oh, cool blind. Yeah, 5 times. It's going to be a long one. Target time is 1 hour long.
Yeah, 60 minutes.
Here we are just coming up to the start for the women's marathon now. Yep. The women starting 5 minutes later, just to stagger that start for the men and the women. But only 30 seconds to go for the women's start.
Yeah, not long left. So a few less women in the fleet. As I said, we've got I think 86 competitors overall. So there are going to be lots of windsurfers out in the water. As we take a little zoom out there, the beautiful Lake Silverplana, and we have the guys cruising up to the top end of that lake that you can see in the distance. They will be going round Mark 1 and 2 before heading down to jibe round Mark 3.
Yeah, that's it. Right, and cool blimey, this is the
Ready
ultimate
for another
cam.
start.
This is the rabbit. We are on the cam of the rabbit boat. So in a sec, it's go time. The riders will be coming very soon, just ripping right behind this boat. They're coming very, very soon. Let's see who's the first one down this pin end. Not quite. Yeah, but you see how fast the boat is going, but the riders, the iQFOil is going to be ripping past. There we are.
Got the first
four going past that rabbit boat. Will that be the correct side to go? Will they have made the correct decision?
They've made a very good decision, it would appear there, as we see the rest of the riders heading past as they start the race, and you can see as soon as they're pumping, trying to get everything they can out of it.
Super pumping. I mean, off the start, as we were saying, the start is one of the most important parts of a race. If you have a good start, you have a head start in the whole race, and you have the confidence. You know, you have the confidence.
And there we see the women's fleet cruising upwind. Beautiful shot there, all together.
That is dreamy, isn't it?
So it's interesting because I mean, this last rider we've got here, you know, she's got a bit of upwind of everybody else, even though she was the last one across the line. So sometimes you never know, you know, you get these wind shifts, things like that. If you're on that right side of the lake, it can really make all the difference.
Yeah, no, that it really can. It really can. And it's also about clean wind, really.
Of course.
If you can stay out of everyone, the thing about the windsurfing and sailing, you all your power is directly from the wind. So you're going to be wanting as much wind as possible, as that's your power source. So you're not going to be wanting other people to take that power.
Yeah, absolutely.
But here we are, Marion Coutier, France 11, coming across our screen now.
So she had a bit of a frustrating day for her yesterday, but has already come back and won one of the course races today. So that should be good. But yeah, she was actually sitting in third yesterday. Unfortunately, there was a bit of a protest.
She was,
against her. So yeah, the Javi. The tech guy for the iQFOil, you know, to check and make sure. Obviously, all the equipment is one design.
Exactly.
So everybody is using exactly the same equipment, and it is thoroughly checked before all the racing starts on registration day, and also throughout the event as well. You know, things like certain, you know, if you sand your foil too much, you will be disqualified. Certain things, and Marion Couturier, actually, it was down to her harness.
Yeah, it was her harness, unfortunately. So basically, what the rule is, you can't have a harness over 4 kilos, and it has to float in fresh water.
Yeah.
And yesterday, the Javi, the technical dude here, he picked some harnesses at random, threw them in the water just to check that it followed that rule of flotation. And unfortunately, Marion's did not float.
Yeah.
It was hard for her. She was in the dooms for a bit. She was very sad as she now moves down to 11th place. However, today, in the course races earlier, she won a race, so nothing is stopping her. She's straight back in it, and she's loving it.
And she's absolutely leading right now, currently in first as she heads down. You can see the men starting to make their way downwind as well, so we're already starting to see the fleet getting mixed up there.
That's
the
it.
men have gone round the top 2 marks, and they will be heading back down to Mark 3, jibing round Mark 4 before heading.
Ooh,
that was
close
there.
That was a bit of humdinger going on there, but Marion Coutier didn't phase her at all. Just cruise it.
Oh,
go
will
on.
she stay on the foil? Oh, dips in just a little bit there.
Super sweet tack, though. She lost barely any speed at all, fully foiling all the way round. But it's looking extremely close between Marion there and also Linda Oprani from Italy in that women's fleet. But moving on to the men's fleet, Davis Mazes, Latvia 29. He looks as if he still has
in the
lead. Go, Matt Davis.
Yeah, maintaining that lead despite now they've gone round the upwind mark and he's managed to keep it as they come down. And this is them jibing round the mark after coming all the way downwind.
Interesting stuff, though. It looks as if Davis on the left of our screen has got a considerable lead here. But those remaining 5 positions, remaining 10 positions, they were all super close. For sure, what will be going through Davis's head? He just wants to chill. He just wants to keep this safe, keep it consistent,
keep a cool head,
keep the lead.
Yeah, keep a cool head throughout this. Don't get into your head too much. Don't start thinking, oh, should I be doing this? Should I be doing this? He's got quite a commanding lead at the moment as we see him coming round Mark 5, so he will now be heading back upwind. So essentially, he has now finished lap 1.
Yeah, there we are. Manolo Modena, Italy 27, and Max to the right, just gone off our screens now, but they are cruising down this bottom reach. Not much separates them at all, but Manolo having a super good race at the minute in that second position, followed by Max. He's wearing that red bib as he came in today in that third place position, but for sure he'll be wanting to keep progressing as he finished the first day in first place.
Yeah. Absolutely, it's going to be super interesting. And as we said, this is the guys at the front of the men's pack. They are now finishing lap 1, 4 laps to go. So it is still anyone's game. I'm slightly starting to eat my words now. Gasper Carfentan, we haven't seen him yet within this top 10.
Very interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Which is because it's essentially the same as yesterday. Perhaps slightly lighter winds today compared to yesterday. So that may be making a difference. Obviously, some riders will be far more comfortable with stronger winds. Some riders will be far more comfortable with the lighter winds. You know, as I said, this is a one design class. So whether it's 35 knots or 8 knots, they will be using this equipment.
That's it. I mean, everyone has their strengths and weaknesses on the course, and that's what adds so much tactical decisions to this racing. And it's just so cool to see all the different things, that people do. Maybe someone gains there, maybe someone gains there, or maybe someone loses there, or maybe they're the same, and they fully just crank it out and try and beat each other, which is just mega.
Absolutely. And should we take a little look at the replay of that rabbit start for the men's? So the boat coming across and the guys sailing across the wake of that boat.
God blimey, how close is that?
Look at that, from the top there. So as soon as the boat goes past, that is it, they are off.
All 58 men just cranking along right behind this boat. How sketch is that, though? They will be wanting, because basically the closer you go to that boat, the better start you get.
Absolutely.
Basically. So they are really pushing that boundary. God,
and as we saw in the women's start as well, actually, the person who started last and went over the line, they actually ended up with a really great position upwind, as you said, because they had that clean wind. It's one thing being one of the first, but if some of the other guys get a bit more speed than you, they are going to be heading upwind of you.
That's it. But Boris Shaw, GBR 319 on our screen now, having actually a very good race at the minute, it looks like. But yeah, as we were saying about that clean wind, it might become harder to really get out into that clean wind as we have all riders on this course at the minute.
Yeah, but luckily the beautiful Lake Silverplana, we have plenty of room there, as you can see on the big screen. The guys, as we start going round the course more and more, people will start to find a little bit more room as certain people manage to pick up a bit of speed. As I said, some people may be more comfortable with transitions, people are more comfortable with upwind, downwind. We are going to start seeing a bit of a wider depth of the field, essentially.
Yeah, no, exactly. And it's cool because we're going to be we have both men and women racing on the same course right now. All 29 women, all 58 men, nearly 100 risers overall here on Lake Silverplana. Yeah.
It's super exciting, and let us know if you guys are watching on YouTube or Facebook. Let us know who you're rooting for. We've already got some comments, some love coming in for Sophia Meyer. Had a great day yesterday. And she'll be looking to repeat that today.
I'll tell you what, Sophia. Oh, here we are. A little bit. Okay. Cool, blimey, there we are. But that was Hida and Marion coming
Couturier
close.
Still with a commanding lead as we see her coming downwind.
Yeah, there we are. But Sophia Meyer Sophia Mayer in that second place. She's really come out of
absolutely
found her spot here, because before she was not doing this good before, but now she is. Well, like, obviously, like, still really good, but, like, not like top 3. You know what I mean? This is just mega stuff in the U21 World Championships.
Yeah,
How
absolutely.
sick is that?
Yeah,
and I was having a conversation with her earlier, actually, and she's just been training by herself. She's from Berlin, just training by herself for however many months. And how cool is that?
Yeah, that's great. To have that motivation as well. You know, a lot of people tend to need other people to kind of get that motivation from, and if you can find that from within yourself, I think that's something that's going to really put you ahead in terms of being a professional athlete.
For sure, that's something to behold. I mean, what I believe in, if you're having fun and you enjoy it, you're going to do better of it, because you're going to be motivated, you're going to be working hard to do it. But that's the cool thing about everyone here, really. It's windsurfing at the end of the day. Everyone loves windsurfing, loves being on the water, loves using the power of nature to do something just as cool as this, as we watched Marion Coutier just cranking down on this speed run.
Yeah.
Good grief.
You get a real sense of speed there as we see them getting really up close and personal with that drone. You get a real idea of how fast these guys are going. Sometimes it can be quite hard to tell. As we said, you know, the wind, despite the wind being sort of 12, 13 knots, a lot of the riders will be doing about double the wind speed.
Exactly. I mean, we probably haven't even got 15 knots here, but she is going to be pushing 30 here. And as she goes into this jibe, how clean is it? Nice and clean.
Beautiful jibe. I wouldn't expect anything different. And she will be coming now to the end of her first round of this marathon race. So 4 more laps to go after this. So she will be crossing one more buoy and heading back off upwind into the distance there.
There we are, but not too far behind. Only 100 metres. Germany 1:2:47. Sophia Mayer. Not too much at all. And then into that third and fourth. Not much separating them at all.
No,
but
the rest of the pack are very close together.
Extremely
from
close.
Place 2 to place 6. It's really all to play for with that. But yeah, Marion Coutier, I think she's coming out of the gates after yesterday. That lit a fire inside her. And that's a great thing to see, because I think with these athletes, that kind of thing can do one of two things. It can either stop you in your tracks and you lose momentum and you kind of go, do you know what, actually, you know, I give up.
Yeah.
But actually, the fact that she's done the opposite.
Yeah.
You know, she's come out today and go, right, do you know what? I'm going to make a statement. I'm going to do this.
I mean, we're seeing having a commanding lead here. It's just absolutely amazing. Let's have another look at that women's rabbit start. There we are. Cool, blimey, straight away, actually. Cool, there we are. Just cruising, cranking behind that rabbit start boat.
So let's look at that last rider coming across. And she actually managed to kind of really get upwind ahead of the pack now. Obviously, things have changed, as we said.
She is. Yeah.
Things have changed massively now. ESP 607, that's it there. So look, actually, she was leading. Look, you can see she is much further upwind than everybody else.
Yeah, Yolanda with a really, really good start there. Again, as we said, probably just clean wind off that starboard end.
Yeah. Or perhaps, you know, sometimes it's merely down to, I don't want to take anything away from their skills or talent or anything. Sometimes it's just down to luck. You know, we are at the will of Mother Nature with this sport to a certain extent, and especially somewhere like here where there are a lot of gusts and wind shifts. You know, we are in the middle of the mountains, so if you can kind of spot them or if you get a lucky gust, it can make all the difference.
As we move on to Sophia Mayer. She's just doing it incredibly. Is she going into that attack? How's the attack? It's light now. It's light, but she's going to be pumping straight away to get back up onto that foil, to get upwind and to get that speed. But she's doing absolutely incredibly, and it's looking like she's taking the lead. Go, Sophia.
Taking the lead, so we're not sure what happened there. Maybe she just got, again, like I said, a lucky gust, or, you know, using those tactics to her advantage. Maybe she saw a gust, saw a bit of a shift that Marion didn't see.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about luck, but I believe you make your own luck. You know,
100%.
You make your own luck. I mean, she's just doing absolutely incredibly in this competition so far. And I'm sure, I really hope we're going to be seeing her in those medal races inside that top 10 for the last day.
100%. Some love coming in for Croatia. From Nicola on YouTube. And that's a beautiful thing as well. I believe we've got 19 nations represented here at the Under-21 World Championships for the iQFOil. So it's great to see it's people from all over the world coming together and racing. And, you know, it's interesting what you said, you know, obviously Davis is the only rider from Latvia, so you've got that on one side, and then you've got like the Polish team or the British team where there's loads of athletes and they're all kind of together. And it's interesting, you know, whether I think there's kind of good and bad bits about both of those things, you know, whether you're kind of the only rider from a nation or you're part of a big team that are here. I think there's obviously advantages and disadvantages.
No, there certainly is. I mean, we see some more people on their own here. Robert Kubin from Slovakia, he's the only guy here, but we also have Lena Erzin and
her brother.
Val
Val.
Erzin.
Yeah.
They're the only people from their country, but they're
Slovenia.
Slovenia, and form an extremely strong team because they're doing extremely well. They both came into this last day in 15th place, both of them. So they're doing pretty
Absolutely,
epic.
yeah. So they'll be also looking to potentially make a bit of a statement for this event as well.
But moving onto the men's fleet again, Davis Mazeis
commanding still.
Dude.
Max Beeman not far off him though as well.
Not far at all, but it's very interesting. Where is Gaspard Carfantan? He was really in the lead
in
so
ninth.
far.
He's in ninth at the moment. So
there
France 379. So yeah, he has managed to make his way up into that top 10. But yeah, let's wait and see if he can push himself up a little bit further.
Yeah, no, that's it, and I'm really looking forward to it, to the rest of this race. It's looking just epic. But now we have all riders on this marathon course, all nearly 100 riders out here.
Yeah,
and it's just cruising. I mean, we're seeing at the bottom of the screen people going at different angles to the wind, different legs of their race, just doing mega crosses. But there we are. That's just cool. Just littered, the Lake Silverplana littered with iQFOils.
Yeah. Littered with windsurfers. I like that. I like saying that.
Litters, but like in the best way possible, isn't it? But that's a cool thing. I mean, iQFOil, everyone's on, as we said, exactly the same equipment, exactly the same sails, exactly the same everything. The only thing that makes them different is, well, obviously the riders. We have flags on the top of their sails, which is pretty cool. So that your national flag is at the top.
Yeah, it's included. Yeah, with your sail number.
With your sail number,
the
exactly. The men, they use 9 meters squared for their sail size, and for the women they use 8 meters squared. The board is 95 centimeters wide. The foil is 95 centimeters. The mast length and a 900 square centimeters front wing. So it's a powerful bit of equipment. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, all to push you, and you can, as I said, these guys are doing double the wind speed with these. So it's extremely efficient equipment, and everyone is on the same kit as well. So it is all down to the athlete, their tactics, their techniques, and all the experience that they are bringing with them.
For sure. I mean, in my opinion, this is probably, well, at least one of the best sailing classes out there. Best speed, the best technicalities, and the best stuff to watch. I mean, when we look at this is just epic footage, foiling in less than 15 knots, around 10 knots we have in here, really using their tactics to their advantage to make all the upwinds, all the downwinds, all the reaching towards the finish.
Yeah, and it looks like we've got we had a bit of a change there with the men's. So Davis Mazias dropping down a little bit, and Max Beeman looking like he's in first. But looking at the women now, Marion Couturier has gone back up into first. But there is, oh no, as I say that, Sophia has changed
close
as well. You can see there is no distance. They are constantly switching between.
That's going to be a really cool thing to watch on. I mean, they keep swapping Sophia Meyer and Marion Couturier. That's going to be a mega battle. Will we see another photo finish even after an hour-long race here at the marathon?
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be super interesting to see. But looking a bit further down the field then, so looking at the women here, so current sort of positions as we're getting outside of that top 10 as we move towards the medal series on Sunday, we've got a few riders that could be really looking to make an upset. Most importantly, I mean, first to mention, we've been talking about her a lot, Marion Couturier. She's currently sitting in 11th, and she's currently leading this marathon race. We mustn't forget it is double points. Double points Friday for the marathon race. She's already coming off a course racing win this morning.
Exactly.
So she is, earlier this afternoon. But she is going to be looking to make a real statement after a bit of an upset yesterday. But equally, some other riders as well. Lucy Kenyon, GBR 469, sitting in 12th.
Yeah.
She'll be looking to potentially try and maximise her points as well with the marathon race.
I mean, and we look at that. Marion Couturier in 11th and 12th is Nella. I mean, how much separates them? Absolutely nothing.
Yeah. Oh, as we see, I mean, look at the distances now. Everyone's so close together. Everything's changing all the time. And then over to the men's as well. That position 8 to 15. There is an awful lot there to play for. As we see, France 7-1-2 now leading the race. So someone has dropped in above Marion Couturier as they make their way downwind for this second lap of the marathon race.
Just cruising.
Sophia Meyer looks like she's dropped back a little bit as well.
There we are, Manon Pianazza, France 7-1-2, doing it extremely well in this race so far as well. She's one of the top French riders, age 19. She's been at the top of her game, top of windsurfing for a long time as well. But she's just cruising. She looks as if she's got clean wind here, which is very interesting. Moved out from the pack, just got one of her French riders behind her, one of her teammates, who will be very interesting.
I think that is Marion, yeah. So they are this is the current battle for first place. Looks like she's got quite a commanding lead there. Currently sitting in 6th position overall. So she will be looking to maintain or better that, essentially, isn't she?
Yeah, I mean, we see Manon coming into the lead here. For sure something on that upwind leg that just
I would say so.
happened because we're seeing some of the rest move down. But we saw Marion and Sophia really battling for that top 2 position, and they've moved down.
It comes down to, again, with the upwind, I think it's so important is the transitions, your tacks. Some riders can foil, they can stay on the foil all the way around that tack. It's something that's only really happened in the last couple of years. These guys and girls are actually managing to stay on the foil all the way through, and that makes such a difference compared to if your board touches down, because that means you have to bear away a little bit to get back up onto the foil.
No,
kind of keep pumping with it, and you will lose a bit of speed and potentially a bit of ground, which makes a massive difference when you're making your way upwind to the top of the lake to go around those 2 buoys.
Exactly. I mean, especially in these light winds, it's super hard work. You've really got to be at your top of the game here, especially in these hard conditions. But we have the men's leaders on our screens at the minute. Davis Mazet is still in the lead.
Back on top.
What
He's
a
back on top. So yeah, things have certainly changed again. And Max Beeman dropping down into 3rd. And Italy 27 sitting in 2nd. Manolo Modena. Still all to play for.
It's really cool. We're seeing Castor Wolf. Oh, well, he was inside that top 10, but that's it. It's so close inside that top 10, really trying to secure your place. Yeah. But Manon, on our screens at the minute, Manon on our screen just cruising down this reach at the minute, followed behind Marion, the two French women riders, absolutely killing this in this race. But closely behind. Oh, there we are.
Still very close to each other, aren't they?
Yeah.
But both with a pretty commanding lead. If you look from the position from 2nd to 3rd, these 2 are streets ahead of the rest of the pack. Yeah. As we see Manon jibing round that last mark, so they will be heading round. I guess this will be the end of their 2nd lap. So still not even halfway yet.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. This is an extremely long race, a proper test of endurance, I mean, an hour long. I mean, it might just look like they're just chilling there. I mean, they are chilling there. They're having a sick bit of fun, but chilling, they are like working extremely hard. This whole sport is about counterbalance, You're really trying to harness the power from the wind in that sail and harness the power from that foil to make you go fast and fly above the water. How sick does that look? A little aeroplane under the water.
Yeah, it does. You really get a sense of it. Look how clear the water is here at Lake Silver Planet. Really, you get to actually see the foil under the water as well and see what a difference it makes as they come past. So they have finished lap 2 and they are now heading back upwind all the way up to the top of the lake in the distance there where they will be looking. So look how far up they're pointing there. So having to pump the sail to keep going, and that's what we were discussing earlier, that little point of difference between being too far upwind to the point where you're going to start dropping off and losing speed, but also you don't want to be, the less transitions you have to do, the less tacking you need to do, the easier your life is going to be. So if you can get a bit of a wind shift that really helps you get upwind, life is going to be a lot easier.
That's it. I mean, we're seeing in this marathon course the last downwind buoy, that last reaching buoy, it's quite close to the shore. So they do, what we're seeing here, they do go off onto the left side of the course. They bang that corner, go really close, almost like on the road basically, and then put in that tack and try and do as little tacks at upwind as possible, because even though we're seeing extremely fast tacks, extremely smooth and creamy tacks, it still loses you around 10 to 20 meters depending on how quick that tack. I mean, if it's just absolutely banging, if it's just perfect, that you can bring that number down, but
you're still going to lose a bit of ground.
Exactly.
You're still going to lose more than if you come out. You're going to have to do it eventually. Yeah. Otherwise, you are going to hit the land.
I mean, especially in these light winds as well.
Of course. Yeah. If you can really pull it out of the bag, as we can see there, Manon looks like she has a real commanding lead there over Marion, has managed to use those tactics and get quite a bit of a header on top of Marion there. As we look towards the men's, Davis Mazet still in first place and with what looks like a super commanding lead there.
big lead, 250 meters. I mean, top 3 is all extremely spaced out, actually. It looks like Davis is just cruising, isn't he? Absolutely cruising. Moving back on to the women. It's looking like Manon has pulled out 50 meters ahead. Davis, rounding his last mark, rounding that last mark for that leg, but then going up onto his next upwind.
So he will be finishing, that will be lap 3 for him. So he is now going in for
over halfway.
Yeah, over halfway now. 2 more laps to go.
Oh, God, blimey.
He's really smashed this out. He's managed to
banging it.
Got some real speed on there, and has a pretty commanding lead over the rest of the pack.
But in that second place on our screen at the minute, Italy 27, Manolo Modena.
Manolo Modena looks like he's not too far off, but again it looks like he's got a fairly comfortable lead as well over some of the other guys.
That's it. But
heading back to the women, these 2 flying Frenchies, they are so much further ahead than everyone else. I don't know whatever they've been doing, thinking about whatever they're looking at. Everyone else needs to be looking at. Unfortunately, Sophia Mayer, she had a brilliant start to the race, but this is where we start seeing why the marathon format is such a great format, and it is really a true test of, as you said, endurance for these riders. And that's the idea behind the iQFOil and the racing formats that we have, is by having all 3 different formats, it gives every rider a chance to shine in what they find their best. So some riders will much prefer just the quick, short, sharp slalom races. Some riders will prefer the kind of mix of the course racing. Some riders will prefer to be out there for a longer time. They can work on the tactics, take their time a little bit more, figure out what's going on the water and how they can maximize it as they go round, this big course 5 times.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like Manon, we have Manon and Marion on our screen at the minute. It looks like Marion, Manon is having a really good, really controlling this situation at the minute. Of course, they're teammates, but at the end of the day, it's racing, and they really want to just smash each other. Smash each other in that race.
It's everyone for themselves as soon as you get onto the water, isn't it?
But we see Manon in a really controlling position here.
She's right upwind of her.
She's right upwind, and she'll be almost covering that wind.
Yeah.
Because she wants the cleanest wind to get the fastest and most upwind as possible. But we're seeing her keep looking back, keep checking out the course, really seeing the situation.
Well, also trying to get the ley line as well, taking a look behind her as well, so she knows, right, when is a good time for me to tack? Am I going to need to tack one more time on the other side? Or actually, if I tack here, is this going to let me be able to come up above those 2 marks and make myself get back downwind again?
Yeah, that's it. That's it with the upwind legs here in the iQFOil. They really have to think about so many things upwind, and ley lines.
Yeah.
Ley lines is extremely important, because if you overlay, you can lose a bit of VMG, and if you underlay, VMG is basically the most optimal balance between speed and height upwind.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's important. Yeah, if you overshoot it, you've essentially wasted a load of time, haven't you?
Exactly.
And you don't want to end up going too far upwind, and you're like, well, now I have to bear away to get past those marks. You want to be you want to be able to touch those marks when you go past them.
For sure. I mean, that's it. I mean, we saw just coming up there, it's 12 knots now. It's extremely light. So these decisions are becoming even more important.
Yeah, absolutely. As we see, it looks like Sophia Mayer is back in the mix.
Back in the game.
So whatever she's done, she must have had a really good rounding at the bottom there. She has found her way all the way back upwind, and she has brought herself back up into the mix with France 11 and France 712, Manon and Marion.
Yeah, I mean, but we did see Manon trying to control Marion, but it looks as if
Marion has come.
Well, yeah, cool, blimey.
Marion has, so that's probably that ley line discussion we were just having.
Exactly.
So that's a tactical thing there. She manages to choose a great ley line, and essentially just cuts Manon up, and is now coming past.
That's it. But you see, did you see that little hand movement from Manon there? Basically, that changes the shape of the sail.
Yep.
Upwind, you're going to be wanting quite a flat sail,
yep.
so it can be super aerodynamic. Downwind, you're going to be letting off a
turning
bit
into
of
a bag, essentially.
Tension, making that sail a little bit deeper, so it has a little bit more power and a little bit more, and that allows you for a bit more depth and a bit more speed downwind.
Absolutely. Yeah, so hugely technical. These guys can trim and tune the sails whilst they're out on the water there. And, as soon as they were starting to make that downwind leg, immediately we call it the outhaul, letting the outhaul off, and that will bag that sail out, bring a bit more power into it, and really help them maximize every chance. And it may sound a bit silly that these little differences make a difference, but they really do, you know, and it's taken very seriously within the iQFOil class, to the point where Javi, the technical director, I suppose, you know, he is checking all the equipment constantly, whether people are sanding their foils to make them sharper, to go a bit faster, checking everyone's sails, making sure that they're all using the right equipment, to what people are wearing. You know, everything they're wearing, you know, bear in mind these guys, you know, they have camelbacks on so they can drink water while they're going around the course, you know, essential, especially when you're doing the marathon race. But everything they're wearing has to be under 10 kilos when wet. So whether it's a wetsuit, harness, impact vest, everything that they wear, helmet, has to all be under 10 kilos when wet, because if they get a little bit of extra weight, it means they can bring that sail in, back and down, get a bit more power, and that translates into more speed.
Yeah, I mean, at the minute, everyone's talking about weight, really. I mean, at the end of the day, it's still a lot more. Everything is to do with skills. However, once everyone has a very even level playing field with skills, as everyone does, as everyone's at the absolute top of their game, weight does come into it. But as we're moving to the women's ranking, currently in this marathon race, it's looking like Marion has really got a lead on here, 100 meters, followed by her teammate Manon, and then in that third position, Sophia May also having an extremely good race.
You see it in racing across all different sports, doesn't it? So much of it does depend on that start, not even the start or that first lap. You know, for example, like, you know, F1 and things. If you can establish a good position in that first lap, and that's exactly what Marion did with this. The first lap of this marathon, she managed to get up to the other end of the lake, back down, essentially ahead of the pack, and now she has managed to maintain that as they start to come into the end of their third lap.
Yeah, but here we are. I mean, as we said, there's both men and women on this course. France 11, Marion Coutier currently leading this marathon's race for the women, and then just above her, I'm pretty sure that's Caster Wolf, Netherlands 3:53 in the men's, just going on to the same leg of the course at the minute.
So potentially a bit of frustration there for Marion, because she's leading the race, whereas Casper, you know, he's going to be looking there, but you know, they don't want to get in each other's way. They're not necessarily competing with each other, really, are they?
Yeah, that's it.
You know, they're in a different fleet to each other. So while, you know. But of course, each of them wants to get round as efficiently as possible. Yeah. So it's going to be a bit of potential frustration for Marion and potentially also for Casper. But Marion's going to be feeling that pressure a little bit of stay out of my way.
That's it. Marion had a little bit of better jive from Netherlands 3:53. That's actually Mark Imenga, my mistake. But yeah, that's it. I mean, Mark is still trying to put in the fastest races possible, but Marion is really trying to just hold this lead in the women's fleet. But the speed is extremely similar. Mark and Manga.
So Mark looks like he's actually got the speed to potentially go past her, but, you know, full respect, you know, he's going to head downwind of her to get past and essentially kind of stay out of her way. If he went upwind of her.
But extremely important position here. Mark Amenga has actually given Marion some room here, which is quite good. Mark Amenga really going for that low mode, trying to speed out to give Marion some room, which is pretty sick. Marion's still putting in those pumps, even though she's winning this race by 60, 70 meters at the minute.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, as she goes into lap 4. So we are starting to get into the business end of this marathon race.
There's not long to go. We're way over halfway now. It's 5 laps. 5 laps of this marathon course around the whole lake here in Lake Silvaplana in Switzerland. So
essentially, if you are just joining us, we are in lap 4 of the women. So the riders, they started with what we call a rabbit start, so behind the boat. They head all the way up and round 2 marks at the top of the lake. They will then jibe round that one, head down to a mark kind of in the middle, mark 3, jibe round that, a reach across to mark 4, jibe round that, and then one more reach before they round mark 5 and head back upwind again. And they will do that 5 times.
5 times exactly, as Davis Mazet is currently leading, still in the men's
lead.
And he's on the left of our screen, really putting in those pumps. But also Sophia from Italy, Sophia Renner also she's at the top of her race as well. So the leaders of both men and women are coming together at this bottom leg of the mark. Linda Oprani also coming through to her penultimate upwind leg. Oh, so Freddie Poloni also coming through there.
Coming around the bottom. So yeah, most of them will be coming round, I would say. So as you can see, 4 there on the boat attached to the mark there. So 4 signifying that we are going into lap 4. As we can see, riders, both male and female riders heading through and making their way back up to the top of the lake.
Sure coming through. Also Val, Poland 125. Also, I'm pretty sure that
close there.
Darcy having a really good race, and also Max Beeman there, Edo as well.
So I would say Max Beeman there, who's fairly close to the top of the pack. I would potentially say they're probably going into lap 5.
No,
they will be going into their final lap. So the guys at the front of the men's fleet will be going into the, probably what I would say is the 5th lap. So the last lap of this, we are getting into the business end of especially the men's race. As we said, we staggered the start a little bit so that both fleets can still go around the course, but there's a little bit more room there.
Yeah.
The men started at 2:19 and the women started at 2:23. So 4 minutes in between the men and women's starts.
No, that's it.
And the men's marathon, so Davis Mazeas from Latvia still leading.
But Manolo Modena, he's really come through.
He's not far,
he's not far at all. We did see it earlier, a little bit earlier in that race. He was in that second, and he's managing to keep that second. Also, Boris Shurin there, Val also in there. But Max is in 8th position at the minute, just followed by Duncan. And then Espana 339 also in finishing off that top 10, currently in this marathon. But as we were saying, everything can change.
Absolutely. Val Ertsen coming into 5th place as well. Currently sitting in 15th overall. If he can come away with a 5th place here, that is going to really push him up the rankings.
No, certainly
he's going to be really, really pleased with that one.
Yeah, no, certainly is. But Davis Mazeas.
So Davis Mazeas, looks like Max Beeman has dropped down into 9th place, so not ideal for where he was. He was kind of sitting in that 2nd, 3rd bracket and was quite regularly jumping up into 1st. But Davis Mazeas with a completely commanding performance.
But we're also saying in that 7th place, Daniel Tashtash. He's doing well. I mean, he's not too...
6th place now.
6th place and still moving up. Absolutely amazing stuff.
It's changing all the time. Still sitting in 6th place.
God blimey. I mean, this is that top 10. This is that top 10. All extremely moving around. Netherlands 352 just come into.
But moving around is exciting because that means we've got a bit of a battle on our hands.
No,
as much as we want everyone to be safe and we want everyone to have a good race, it's nice to have a little bit of a fight, isn't it? It's nice to get the guys. The photo finish is what we want. As we said at the start of the race, we saw it in the course racing yesterday, but especially in the marathon. Despite it taking an hour to do, it very often ends with mere centimetres in terms of difference of who is crossing that line. As we take a look at the women's marathon, Marion Couturier still leading. Yeah. She's been leading pretty much the entire race.
Yeah, I mean, she's on our screen at the minute, just cruising up this upwind leg for her. For sure, there is not long to go in this race, and she's still got 100-meter lead. But
Sophia Mayer, she's come back up. She's come back up. She had seemed to have a bit of a bad time in the last couple of laps, but she's found herself right back up there in 2nd place. She's had a really good event so far. If she can come away from this marathon race in that kind of top 3, she's going to be looking really good as we move towards the weekend and those famous medal series races.
Certainly is, but I mean, if we're looking at that leaderboard, unfortunately, it looks as if Sophia May has had a little mistake there. She's really dropped down, unfortunately. Yeah. A few meters going on there. Hopefully, she picks it back up and still keep her top 3 position. That'd be sick.
Yeah, and taking a look, of course, that top event standing, Sophia Mayer currently sitting in 3rd place overall. Kristina Pinisova in 2nd and Adi Milo from Israel in 1st place in the overall standings.
But it's interesting because in this marathon, we haven't seen Adi Milo right at the top.
No, we haven't. Yeah, and she's had a real commanding performance throughout both the slalom and the course racing yesterday. So potentially, maybe the winds are a bit lighter, a bit shiftier. Sometimes it can just be something like fatigue. I had a bit of a bad night's sleep last night, and there's also the mental side that we haven't really discussed either as well today. The mental side of it, perhaps sometimes you do just wake up on the wrong side of bed in the morning, don't you? And you've got to kind of go out and prepare yourself. Sometimes the pressure of it all can become a bit difficult for you. It's all about that headspace and going into that, and sometimes it's just who's the best on the day. But that's why we have the different formats, and that's why we run it over a few days to give everyone the chance to showcase their best skills.
And we're moving on to this top group here in the men's marathon. It's extremely close. It looks like, exactly, but still Latvia, Davis still commanding the lead in this. But this top group of 5 or 6, they are making their way downwind, but it's all changing up. Really changing up at the minute. It's super cool. But Bernard Thomas also in this... also in this pack on the left side of the screen, he won one of the first races of today.
Yeah, so this is a bit of a mix that we've got here. So we've got the kind of leaders of both fleets. So we've got the men's marathon. Yeah, Davis Mazeus in first place.
Yeah, he's on the right of our screen now, looking like he's still got a bit of a lead on this pack.
He certainly does. He's much further downwind than everyone else.
Manolo just putting in his jibe here. Will this be the right place? But closely followed
Davis
jibe
Mazeus
after
also jibed.
Davis Mazeus.
Manolo making a lot of ground downwind there. This is going to be intense as we're getting towards, this is it now, we're getting towards the final. They've got around one more mark, and then it is a reach across to the finish line.
Go on, Davis. He's on the screen now. He's still putting in
I mean,
his
I'm going to say, after everything he's done, I'm going to say he deserves to win in this.
Go on, yeah, no, he's
had such a commanding
race.
Yeah,
mega
such
race.
a commanding
look at his
performance.
lead. I mean, probably in second, Manolo Modena, just on the left of our screen, just behind that leaderboard right now. But Davis Mazeus still putting in his bumps, really trying to cement this lead in this race he's got. The marathon, one of the most important races, one of the most high stakes races in the iQFOil.
Double points. It's double points.
Under 21 World Championships.
Yep. So current race standing. Actually, he's currently in 5th place overall in the event. So yeah, let's wait and see.
Oh, for sure. I mean, with this, if he does manage to take this win, I mean, there's still a bit to go. But if he does take this win, he'll be moving right up the rankings. But this last, he's got this last race.
He's got one more mark. Sorry, my mistake. Yeah.
He's got this reach and then one more last reach. Let's really hope this last jibe goes well.
So it looks like actually behind Davis Mazeus is the women's leader, which I believe is Marion Couturier as well. So they will be crossing the line together.
But safe jibe from Davis there. He's hooked back into that harness. Really securing the wind here on this last reach of the marathon race. Davis Mazeus,
it looks like he is going to sail away with this victory.
God blimey, go on, lad. He's just cruising out here, really sitting low.
Yeah, nothing stopping him now.
Quite low on the foil, so he is in that safety position.
Yeah.
But of course, he will be in that safety position as he is leading on the last leg. There we are.
There's
the finish line. He's just cruising down, really sitting low, trying to get all that wind. Super upright sail. Oh, how cool is that? He's just cruising, foiling, and winning this race for the marathon here in the Under 21 World Championships.
Beautiful.
Good race from Davis Mazeus there.
Amazing performance there from Davis Mazeus.
As we see, it's probably Marion Coutier also coming through, just making her way onto this last
lap
upwind.
for Marion.
But just behind her, it was Manolo Modena coming in second place for that race.
And it looks like, is that Sophia Mayer who's just gone past as well? So that's some of the women heading past there. So we've still got one lap left, as I said, coming across the line. But the women started 4 minutes after the men. So Marion with one more lap to go. But it looks like Davis Mazeus, he will take the win here for the marathon race in Lake Silvaplana in Switzerland.
Top lad. Well done, Davis. Right, moving to the rest of the women's marathon. Men are starting to finish, but the women have still got one leg to go. Marion Coutier, France 11, currently leading this race. She's majority of this race, she's either been in that top 3, but most of it she has actually been leading, hasn't she?
Absolutely. Yeah. She's again, kind of we've seen it across both fleets today. You know, Davis Mazeus with a commanding lead throughout the entire time, and Marion Couturier as well. There's been a bit of a battle for second and third in that women's race, you know, between between Sophia Mayer, but yeah, I think Marion Couturier, this is her race to lose, essentially.
That's it. As we're moving on to a bit of the end of, finishing the men, but here we are, straight to the girls again.
Yeah.
Linda on our screen at the minute, I'm pretty sure, and then also Katerina. That's Czech 80 also coming through the line.
Yeah.
Could that be...
So it's Manon and Sophia in second and third. Sophia Mayer in second and Manon Pianazza in third.
But Nella on our screen, just to the left at the minute, really cruising up this upwind, really high in the fleet at the minute. The women's fleet coming they are on their last upwind of this leg now. Upwind.
So still a bit to go. Things can still change.
Things can still change here in Lake Silvaplana. It's looking actually quite light now, isn't it, to be honest?
It does look like the wind has dropped a little bit. As we said, the clouds have come over slightly. There does seem to be a bit of a gap in them, though. But that will kind of, cause that Maloya thermal wind to sort of shift around a little bit. Yeah. Initially the wind started and it was quite windy, wasn't it? It was kind of 14, 15 knots. It has now dropped down to kind of sort of 12 knots.
Yeah, as we saw Nella just putting in her tack there now. it is light. It is light. So they are dropping off the foil in those tacks. I mean, they're extremely hard tacks to do, these fully planing tacks. But
Absolutely.
she's straight back up on the foil and cruising off that upward, really leaning out. Check 18 Nella. Nella just absolutely cruising to her last upwind.
Yeah, so looking, it's still very much all to play for, you know, but it does look like Marion Couturier has such a comfortable lead over the rest of the pack, and she will be looking to come away and sort of make up, I suppose, for yesterday. You know, those of you, if you've just joined us, a bit of a frustrating day for Marion yesterday, you know, coming away from, you know, doing really well, winning some races, but then a bit of a protest about her harness being too heavy and it wouldn't float. So she ended up going from 3rd down into 11th place overall. So if she can win this, you know, with the double points as well, that is really going to throw her straight back up into the running and straight back up into the business end of those medal series races.
Yeah, unfortunately, a few points added there for Marion, but for sure she's won a course race today. She's in the lead for the women's at the minute. And for sure, she'll be wanting to keep that lead and really move back up into that top 10. But Nella just cruising up on this upwind at the minute. Check 80, putting in her tack. How's his tack? Oh, it's just cruising. It's just cruising. But it's extremely
just drops down,
light, isn't it?
Yeah, to stay on the foil.
Extremely light.
To stay on the foil is so hard.
But she's pumping straight back away just to get up, build that speed. But there we are, race results. Davis Mazes, what a lad, just looking.
Val Ertsen coming in 4th place there. Incredible work from him.
Yeah.
You know, obviously currently was 15th overall. So for him to come into 4th place here, get those double points, that is going to really help push him up the rankings, potentially into that medal series top 10 as well.
Manolo and Freddie finishing off that top 3. Great race from Manolo and insane race from Freddie as well. As he coming into this competition, he was very ill actually. He got some food poisoning, I think.
Oh no.
But I mean, there we are. Nothing stopping him as well. They're really just trying to have a bit of fun.
Athletes.
And really, they're athletes, you know.
Athletes.
Nothing stops them. Nothing stops them.
That's
and
incredible
they're just cruising. Linda on our screen, back into this women's fleet.
So
not long to go for their marathon. 5th place.
Linda Oprandi also had a really good day yesterday. You know, coming away with a 2nd as her best result yesterday in the course racing. But, you know, a really stellar performance, and she'll be looking to repeat that. If she can stay in that 5th place, that's going to really help. She's currently actually sitting in 5th overall as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, if she can keep that going. Beautiful drone view there. You can really see the gusts there. So the darker patches of water, that is where the wind is.
Yeah.
The lighter patches. So as a rider, you're going to want to be avoiding those light patches of water.
Yeah, we can also see at this angle how spaced out they are. I mean, France 11, Marion having extremely good lead on here, even almost 100 meters, going really, really well. But God, we're getting someone special in the booth at the minute, very special. Let's get a cheeky interview with the lad. Let's go, dude.
Davis Mazeus, you're in the booth. 1st place in the marathon. How are you feeling?
Tired.
I'm not surprised.
Just so stressful.
Stressful. Talk us through it a little bit. Talk us through the decisions, how it was.
I was hoping all the time that like Manolo and Max would like tag behind me so that I could control them all the time. Most of the times it happened like that, and I'm really stoked that it worked out because I was just trying to keep it cool, keep it focused. I knew like after the start I think my best start in my life.
Yeah.
I tagged and was just crossing everyone. So I thought, okay, 5 laps, I have to keep this for 5 laps, and
and you did.
And I did.
Do you find there's more pressure when you're in that 1st place for so long? You basically in 1st place for the entire race. Do you find there's more pressure there, or is there more pressure when you're kind of sitting in the middle a little bit?
Nah, I think it's more pressure when you're on the front because everyone's attacking you all the
exactly.
time. In the middle, you are attacking someone else all the time, so it's like easier. But I loved it. It's unfortunate that Max crashed on I think it's the 2nd upwind at the top mark.
Yeah.
And then he fell behind, so I had to only keep Manolo behind me. And
I mean, you did it well, though, didn't you? Winning that race, that was just epic. I mean, even winning pretty much in the lead the whole race how hard was it? Was there any mistakes to be made, or did you just cruise the whole thing? You were just chilling.
I had to just keep it clear without mistakes. Actually, I did one very almost costly mistake on the 2nd upwind. I tacked and opened my boom by accident.
Oh,
so I closed it quickly, and luckily I didn't lose anything.
Cool, blimey.
But
well, nothing stops you, innit?
Yeah.
Oh,
Luckily that race nothing stopped me.
that's just mega. That's sick.
So a dreamy race. What's
much.
Would you say the marathon is kind of your preferred format? You know, we've got the slalom, the course racing, and the marathon. Is the marathon generally one you tend to prefer, or was it just everything came together for you today?
I think it just came together, but usually I don't like marathons, but somehow I did pretty okay on them.
Yeah.
Like in the past marathons I've participated in, it's always been stressful because I think I don't know the strategy and everything. But yeah, here I was also like not sure if I want the marathon. I thought I may prefer just regular course races.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
now I'm not complaining about
No,
that.
I was going to say, it's
awesome
all good.
to really get a cool insight to that race. But we're just coming to the finish of the women's fleet.
So Marion Couturier
here in the lead here.
It looks close though.
Yeah, super close. I think we're coming down to the last mark now.
How is it on this last reach?
I saw that like Manolo is safe distance behind me, so I was just like, okay, just bring it home. Don't
play it cool.
So for sure, this will be going what's through Marion's head at the minute. Just keep it home. She's got a pretty considerable lead.
She's been leading, much like you were in the race as well. You know, she's been leading the race the entire time. So she's just going to be looking. And like I said, a frustrating day for her yesterday. So for her to be able to come away with this win, and I mean, she's basically got it. I mean, I don't want to jinx it.
The last jibe is very stressful.
Last jibe, yeah.
Because I was also just trying to keep it as calm as possible.
Yeah, that's what we said as you came. We were like, he's got nothing to worry about, but also everything to worry about.
She's kept it calm as well, though. Marion just cruising,
cruising to the finish line.
Cruising
well,
through to
I
the
mean,
finish line.
anything can happen, though, Davis, isn't it? Anything can happen. But
Anything
it's looking like
happen,
Marion is having a consistent lead here. She's just cruising towards
coming up towards that finish line, closely followed by Manon Pianazza, who were in second, and then Sophia Mayer finishing up. Yeah, absolutely. And it looks like
having a cheeky look behind her, just in case
just
anyone's really attacking, but she's put her back foot straight into that back strap, really going to be cranking along, coming towards the finish for this marathon race. The women's
there we
fleet,
go, the little hand in the air.
Not long to go at all, just coming towards the finish. Absolutely amazing stuff from Marion there. Awesome, absolutely sick.
Beautiful finish there from Marion Couturier, looking to, as I said, wash off the problems from yesterday and go into
there we go.
And the jump across the finish, beautiful.
Finishing, absolutely cruising.
Yeah.
But not much behind her.
Manon Pianazza, that was super close at the end there.
Oh,
you could see at the distance, like Marion was
so
closing.
close. But look at the lead they had on the rest of the fleet there as well. It was the three of them battling the entire time.
It's interesting, isn't it? But Marion having an absolutely amazing race there and just finishing off with a celebratory jump.
A little celebratory chop hop,
stuff.
Nothing matters after that.
She's just chilling now.
Yes.
She's just chilling, taking it all in. Well done, Marion.
Yes.
An absolutely amazing race after her day yesterday. Unfortunately, she got a bit of penalties from.
Went from
a bit of a slip up from some equipment damages, but she is straight back into it, winning, and she's moved up the rankings for sure.
She will definitely move up the rankings, so she went from 3rd to 11th yesterday after the protest last night. So for her to, she'll be jumping, especially with the double points for the marathon race, she'll be jumping straight back up, comfortably within the medal series.
Easy
races,
stuff.
the top 10.
And for sure, I'm sure we're going to be seeing her towards the top. In the end of the competition, for sure.
And we've got 4th and 5th coming in there. So we have Nela Sadokova, I think, in 4th.
Nela having a great race there. Nela on our screens now.
Oh no, it's close. We'll see.
Who's going for
Linda
it?
Brandy, it looks like.
Linda taking
will take
that
3rd.
Place.
I called it too early.
But amazing race from Nella as well.
Yeah,
really
those two.
Strong race, finishing in 5th for her marathon. That will be jumping her right up as well. Really she's strong race as it's double points.
Currently sitting in 12th, Nella, so that'll also push her right up.
For sure. I'm pretty sure she will be making it inside that top 10, ready for that medal races tomorrow.
Absolutely, what a finish there.
In 2 days, in 2 days.
2 days, we've got the final series tomorrow, and then Sunday is all about the medal series.
Oh, blimey. Right, let's have a little look at Marion Couturier again. Little replay of her.
Replay of some of the highlights from this marathon race. So that is her on the right-hand side. So France 11, FRA 11 on there. That is her sail number.
That was Marion and Mark just coming round. Mark to for this upwind, but Marion just having a better mark rounding there and really taking that clean win. Mark just to the below of her, but Marion just cruising. She's just having an awesome time out there, taking this marathon win. Absolutely. And they're just cruising. I mean,
beautiful
just safe
jibe
jibes.
There. Beautiful
safe.
jibe.
You know, this was the last jibe from her in the race. Towards that boat, nearly at the end, and going for a
chop up. There it is.
Just towards the finish and landing it. Oh, that is just cruising.
Foils out the water.
Just
there
imagine
we go.
the pressure let off after that. That is just
well, I think
mega.
there's something symbolic about that chop hop there. There was just let all that energy out. I've done it. You know, as I said, wash off everything from yesterday. Today is a new day. She got a win at the course racing earlier this afternoon, and to come away with a win in the marathon as well. That's all you need.
Awesome. I mean, it was really sad to see her sad as well yesterday.
It was, yeah. Today, you know, I saw her at the skippers meeting this morning, and she, as I said, she had a face like thunder. She was not happy at all, and you can understand why. You know, but that's the whole idea of this. It has to. The rules have to be there.
Yeah.
This is a one design. As we round out the top 10. So
there
this is the top 10 for
so
the race results.
We did see that top 5, the Marion, Manon, Sophia, Linda, then Nella, and then also Sophia Renner having a super good race. Also Ambar, and then Katrin in that 8th position, followed by Paula and Ola from Poland.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing stuff there from the Polish.
Yeah,
really
absolutely.
Good.
That is going to be your top 10 race winner, Marion Couturier. And that is the confirmed results from the top 10 for the marathon race here for the women. And it looks like, Marion Couturier is going to be bringing herself right up those overall rankings.
Oh, we're going to get a cheeky interview with the
and it looks like Marion is joining us in the booth.
Awesome stuff. Yes.
That's absolutely fine. Marion, congratulations. How are you feeling?
Thank you very much. I'm a bit exhausted.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
How did it feel to go over that finish with that jump?
Oh, it was a goal for me to jump if I won the marathon, so I made it, yeah.
So sick, so sick.
Yeah.
But within that race, there was a lot of changing around,
my
actually.
goodness.
How
It
was that?
So shifty. Always in the upwind, I was a bit scared that the girl was going to...
That was where the changes were happening, the upwind. The downwind, the whole time, you had quite a comfortable lead. But every time the downwind, it was you and Manon and then Sophia, and you guys were always kind of coming, changing.
Yeah,
so,
it was such great battles with the girl. It was... I loved really the race. It was insane. Like a bit challenging, and for the tack, it was... really good.
Is the marathon, is that a format of racing that you tend to really specifically enjoy, or was today just a really good day for you?
I think today was a really good day.
Yeah.
I'm not the fastest, I think, in the fleet.
Yeah.
But I always manage to make good tacks and good tactic, I think. And I managed to take the lead during all the race, and it was
amazing.
Yeah.
So cool. And how does it feel after yesterday to take multiple wins here?
Yeah, a difficult day yesterday for you.
Difficult at the end. I cried a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm really happy to have a really good day today.
Yeah.
And let's enjoy the end of the championship.
That's what we said. Your jump there. Your jump there was like a symbol. It was like, get rid of yesterday. Yesterday is gone, and now everything is looking forwards now.
Exactly. Looking forward and really enjoying this championship.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So for sure you will be moving up inside that top 10 now, right?
Yes, I think so. My goal was to be in the podium before the finals, but with what happened yesterday, it cannot happen. But I'm going to push all I have to be in the top.
And then the medal series, anything can happen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Super exciting.
Best of luck for the rest of the
thank you very much for joining us.
You got it.
Yeah, go and rest, go and relax.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Congratulations.
See you in a bit.
Thanks, Marion. Awesome to hear. Awesome to hear from Marion there, and you can see the stoke on her face.
That's so cool.
It's so nice. I got like goosebumps a little bit talking to her there. It was so nice.
It's really nice to see from the difference from yesterday. She was so sad. It was such a shame. But today she's coming to the booth. She's just loving it. Stoked some vibes. It's just mega. I love it.
Yeah, it's so good. And the other winner as well. Good to hear from Davis. You know, he's so chill there. You know, sitting in the booth, and he's so relaxed. Let's take a little look at how his race was. So some beautiful jibe in there. So chill.
It was amazing. I mean, he was dominating throughout this race. As we heard, he was leading the race from early on, and he just kept the lead throughout the race.
Yeah,
it
a
was
smooth
just
operator.
So cool. Yeah,
a smooth operator. Exactly. Yeah, even in the booth there, you know, so chilled. You know, relaxed. He's kind of coming into the marathon race today. You know, he was already in a good position. He's already in 5th overall. So I don't know, sometimes that as he was saying, you know, sometimes that adds more pressure, sometimes it adds less pressure. But actually, he didn't seem like he let the pressure get to him at all. He was almost in his own bubble when he was out there. No. He was like, I'm just sailing my own race. If people are behind me, they're behind me, you know?
Exactly. For sure, he just came into this race just letting loose. I've got it. And he did get it.
Yeah.
He had the confidence. But the thing is, I mean, it's all about the mental side as well, especially in an hour-long race. Yeah. It's such a long time. You can be like, normally the races are, say, 6 minutes or 20 minutes. You can be like full power going, but but the different mindset you have to have for an hour-long race. And it's also, you can't just blitz yourself within the first 5 minutes.
You can't,
just go, oh God. And then like, I'm tired as hell. I can't even think because I'm so like, tired. But he's just had it perfectly, isn't it?
Yeah,
God,
you can't, well, like you said, you can't spend, that entire first lap pumping your way upwind and then cruising downwind, pushing everything you have against the foil. It's literally a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah, exactly.
We say it all the time.
Times,
but yeah, he managed to keep his composure throughout the entire thing. Made no mistakes. Sadly, as he said when he was in the booth with us, he was having to fight off Max Beeman from the UK, who sadly had a bit of a crash up the top end, and that cost him quite a few places. And he kind of, without saying it, he was like, I'm almost kind of glad that happened because it meant he didn't have to fight him. But equally then Marion there as well, saying that she had some great battles with the girls. So the athletes, whilst they don't want to be challenged, they also kind of do want to be challenged, and they want those great battles, and they want to feel like they've overcome something. So actually, as I said, for the girls especially, it was that upwind that was really making a difference. One of them would come ahead of the other, then they would come up, and as they were going up like this, it would just all change up who was in the results, who was in that first position.
Yeah, that's
and they want those kind of battles going.
That's
that
the
makes
magic
it so much more exciting. And that, as you said, that is the magic of the marathon. 'Cause everything can change so quickly.
And that's what's so cool about the IQ class. I mean, we have the usual regatta style course racing. We have the slalom that we've both had already, but today we had the marathon races, and what a show it was. It was just amazing. Full 1 hour of just cruising, just pure iQFOil racing, and then also so much tactics within it. I mean, as we said to Davis, he was once he got the lead, he was really trying at every point throughout the race, really control the rest of the fleet. Because for sure, top 10, top 5, I mean, the whole fleet will be wanting to make every slight little game they can. But I mean, he just did it perfectly, didn't it? But
he did. Well, as I said, he's the smoothest of smooth operators. And even when he was sat in here, he seemed so cool, so composed, so relaxed, and he knows what he's done. And he knows that it's going to put him in really good stead. I mean, going from 5th place with those results from the marathon, I think we're definitely going to see him up there on the podium
for sure. I mean, same with Marion. I mean, she finished the first day in 3rd place, and she's moving up. Well, for sure, she's back moving up into that top 10 after she finished in 11th coming into this day. But for sure, she will be back up into that top 10. And I'm really trying to secure that the best place within those medal races towards the
absolutely
towards the end of the week.
Talking going into those medal races. So it will be for those of you if you're unsure about how it works, it will be the top 10 men and the top 10 women will be the only people from each fleet racing on Sunday for the medal series. So you want to find yourself, of course, in that top 1, 2, and 3. The first race of the medal series is position 4 to 10. Exactly. So basically, the higher up that you can get in that top 10, essentially the less racing you need to do.
For sure. I mean,
you've already confirmed yourself a certain high position. But even if you could just find yourself in that top 10, you are still in with a shot.
No, and that's it. But within the as you said, 4 to 10. Everyone has the same thing, but the 2 and 3 they have a head start as they're already in the semi-finals.
Exactly.
And then if you lead in the event, you're already in the final.
You're chilling.
But people are still inside that top 10. You're still going to be wanting to push extremely hard, but also the 10 to 15. 10 to 20 even. It's usually all extremely close.
Well, exactly. And we saw that with I'll say, again, I mentioned him earlier, Val Ertsen, coming in from 15th place to coming within the top 5 in the marathon race. He's going to be coming away so pleased. Actually, just out of the window of the booth here, I saw when he came in and his dad gave him a big hug, and it was a really nice moment. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's super cool to have the marathon here in the day with just prime conditions again. Lake Silverplana here in Switzerland.
I mean, look
giving
at that
us an amazing day, another amazing day, another amazing condition. I mean, just look at it.
Beautiful
the scenery
conditions.
Is just.
And let's take a little look.
Beautiful.
Let's take a little look at the replay from the marathon race. And here is that rabbit start that we were talking about.
Super speed.
So the boat going across. As the boat comes across, the sailors start making their way upwind.
Exactly. I mean, that rabbit boat, it's going around 18, 19 knots. It's not going slow. So for sure, there is a lot on this start. You can't crash into the boat, but you want to be as close as you are as possible. But all these riders just doing it perfectly. Absolutely executing it. Just lovely.
Yeah. And that is them cruising heading across the wake of the boat. As we said, sometimes that can cause problems. Didn't cause any problems today.
I mean,
it was remarkably drama-free, this marathon, which of course ultimately we like. Obviously there were a couple of crashes, sadly, as David said, Max Beeman crashing at the top of the course, and that cost him quite a few places.
Well,
but yeah, this big rabbit start that's the women's fleet there, that one, last one there. And that is them cruising, heading up the beautiful scenery we have here at Lake Silverplana.
Yolanda having a great start, but I mean, there we are, just all in that line, making their way upwind. It's just absolutely cruising. It's just dreamy, isn't it? Absolutely lovely. Yeah. I mean, they did five laps of this marathon course. 5 laps. It was just sick, wasn't it? Just mega going upwind, downwind, including some reaches in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, heading all the way up. So yeah, rounding 2 marks at the top, heading round 2 other jibe marks before a last reach across to the final mark, essentially that finish line, and then doing that 5 times.
There we are, Marion Coutier.
A commanding performance from her today, as we interviewed her earlier, and as she said, a really, really tough day for her yesterday. She said lots of tears, frustration this morning. So for her to come away a win earlier this afternoon in one of the course races, and then winning ultimately the marathon race, she's going to be
probably got some tears of joy in her.
I would say so. Yeah, going to bed tonight an awful lot more chilled.
Well, I'll put bed tonight, maybe even a party tonight from coming back into it.
I'm not sure. I think she's going to want to maintain the straight and narrow course that she has. Yeah, obviously found today. She's found something within her. And speaking of finding something, Davis Mazeas as well, the smooth operator.
Exactly. He was just lovely. He was just cruising it. Here he is, just sitting down, just having a good time on the iQFOil. Just
so much love coming in on YouTube
for
Davis Mazeas as well. Loads of comments coming in. People really, really stoked to see him on the podium. Billy Short on Facebook, great broadcast again today. Thank you. Our pleasure, Billy. We hope you've enjoyed the show. And then the jump hop over the finish there for Marion Couturier. As I said, a symbolic jump there, just washing off everything from yesterday.
Good stuff. Really good stuff.
Beautiful, beautiful. And here we have the beautiful Lake Silverplana for the Under-23 iQFOil Under-21 World Championships.
Oh, it's been dreamy so far. I mean, we're 5 days in, and it's just been absolutely amazing.
We've had one lay day, and that's it. Other than that, there has been action every single day. We've had slalom, we've had course racing, and now we've had the marathon
today, and boy, did it again. It just did not disappoint, but now we have the marathon out of the way, and now tomorrow is going to be the final series. Yeah. The final series where the splits are flit. The boys will be split into 2. Will they split into 2? Not 100% sure on that.
Well, the forecast for the weekend is looking a little bit different. It is looking like we are potentially getting some weather systems coming in, so we may be experiencing some quite strong winds, which is going to be quite exciting because so far we've had quite light winds. Obviously, the forecast here, you never quite know. Christian Muller, the local event organizer, he says, despite there being a lot of storms around, we are in a big valley. We're very high up. We're 1,800 meters above sea level. So, the weather can change quite quickly.
It can change just like that. I mean, you can see the mountains just around here. It has its own little weather system, really. I mean, the usual thing is it's thermal. It's called everyone says it's the famous Maloya wind.
The Maloya wind.
It's the south wind, comes straight down the lake, and that's what we've had today. Yeah. It's just been lovely. I mean, we get this when it's hot. And it's been sunny, it's been hot, it's been beautiful. It's been lovely.
Yeah, but it does look like those temperatures are going to drop over the next couple of days, and we are going to experience potentially some stronger wind, which, as we said, is super exciting because some of the riders are a lot more comfortable in the lighter winds. As I said, from 8 knots all the way up to 35 knots, the riders have to use the exact same equipment. So using these much larger, boards, and then a 9-meter sail for the men's fleet, 8-meter sail for the women's fleet. So any of you windsurfers out there who are watching, you will know using an 8-meter or a 9-meter sail in 30 knots of wind is quite difficult. But also it's very difficult to use it in no wind as well because you're essentially holding it up. So that, further goes to show the athleticism